Alright, it's 10:47 a.m. on March 31st. Yeah, I slept from 4:30, or actually just 4:25 to 9:45. And the funny thing is I woke up like a couple minutes before the alarm rang. I just woke up naturally. I was like, yeah, 6 hours is enough. Um, No, not 9:45, 10:45, 10:30. So I slept from 4:25 to 10:30-ish. So that's 6 hours. That's fantastic. It's not the best, but I think it's a huge improvement upon the last 3 days. And I feel a lot better right now, even though it's only 6 hours. Um, I'm wide awake. Huge stone lifted from my chest. Even though the editing for Smooth Operator still hasn't happened, but humongous stone is lifted from my chest. Also, it's a miracle. You know, a lot of people's 290s are like, one location, two actors. I somehow pulled this off. Like, I somehow found all these extras. I put in the work. I bought stuff. I paid money. I really pushed. It sucks that I don't have a whole crew with me, but I think I gave my best and it shows. I think some of the scenes here really slap. Um so yeah. Um Moving on to April. Yeah. So I'm waking up a little early today because I need to do the laundry. All of my clothes are dirty and I need to wear clothes. Also, it's really cold. It's getting cold again for some reason. I also need to finish a Route 340 essay. So last night I was gonna watch an episode of Severance and continue writing the essay. Couldn't do that. I could not fucking do that. I started falling asleep. I was trying to type words on my laptop and I started falling asleep. My mind started drifting away. So I thought, well, might as well sleep. Sleep early and then wake up a little early and then do the essay. So I'm gonna do that. And yes, once again, I am typing the essay the morning before. The morning of the due date, which is a terrible idea. But I'll be more careful this time with the words I type and the words I use. I'll be more careful. I'll reread it. I'll proofread it. I'll be a little more careful today. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Aside from RIT 340 and 290, I think I'm done. I'm good. Um, yeah, I'm good. I have a bunch of other stuff to do. Like edit college update video. I want to film a YouTube video if I have time. Um, yeah, I gotta get back on track with the stuff. And then, yeah, I'm so done with film sets. There's April 5th, where I hang out with Jiayun, hopefully. And then, the Maisie set. Yeah, Christian R showed up yesterday just to tell me, oh yeah, I got into Michael's class, so that's practicum in production design. And he also said, oh, I'm gonna join Maisie's thing. Even though I don't think he texted Maisie about this at all or whatever. Uh, so yeah, for me, that's the two sets left. After April 5th, and then the Maisie's thing, I'm done. Also, I may have to do a short film for my religion class. Oh, I realized that Friday was the deadline. Okay, yeah. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah. Also, pretty minor update, but pretty big. The wire finally came through, so I wired Tiger Lily $515, and the wire finally came through, and it worked, and he just booked the place. So there's that. She just booked the villa at Cannes, France. it's done deal. It's a done deal.
Lamau.
And would you like any syrup?
Wait, you just. Oh, okay. Wait, are you junior? Yeah, I'm actually junior. No, but.
Alright, time now is 8:38 p.m. I just came back home. I'm in my street clothes, a death grip sweater. Yeah. So, um, yeah, today is, simple day. It's weird, like, I'm like, oh, finally, a day of simplicity. But, like, literally 4 days ago was also really simple, I think. It's just that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the weekend, I've been on that dance video and then doing smooth op, and everything just felt really chaotic. But I'm here now, and it's a day of normalcy again, and I hope the rest of the semester is normal like this. Um, I woke up with only 6 hours of sleep, but honestly, it felt fucking amazing. I don't know why. I woke up and I felt really alive. And I'm like, yeah, 6 hours is not bad. I'm gonna try to go to bed earlier, but genuinely, 6 hours is not bad at all. Um, yeah, so I planned to film a Lisa album review this morning, but I didn't. Instead, I spent about 1 hour and 50 minutes writing my RIT 340 essay. And once again, just like my last essay, I'm writing it literally the morning of the due date, which I highly unrecommend because you're rushing and you're going crazy and you're tired. But I have to do it. I have no choice. And this time around, I was way more careful. I feel like I'm dancing with fire. I feel like I'm walking on a ground full of landmines. And I was so much more careful with the tenses, and like if I use a fancy word or a fancy sentence structure, I double check to know what it fully means before I use it. But also, this time around, I had a real outline. I had an outline, and I would go back and think, should I put this here? Should I put it there? But yeah, eventually I finished writing it, and honestly, I was pretty satisfied. I think this is better than my first essay. I think this also felt more genuine. It felt more specific. And I think my professor wants to see that. In fact, every single professor slash TA wants to see my essays more specific. Maybe it's just me. When I write things, I don't go into the nitty gritty details because I don't explain it like people are 5 years old. But I think a lot of TAs and professors want me to explain it like they're 5 because the explanation is part of writing, and I always omit that. But yeah, I was pretty proud of the writing actually. I was writing the essay and I'm incorporating my own experience into the essay, and it felt genuinely good. I felt like genuinely good statements are being made. The grammar and the syntax is really careful, and I hope the professor likes it. Of course, I finished the essay and I'm late. I missed the first bus and I missed the second bus, and so I walked. No, I didn't miss a second bus. The class starts at 2 p.m. I didn't miss the 1:50. I left at around 1:40 or 1:45, but I walked because I need to arrive a bit earlier and give myself a little bit of time. I need to give myself a little bit of time to go to Amazon. Not Amazon, go to the FedEx office at the USC Village to print out the paper. So I walked all the way over there, printed it out, and by then it was like 2:05, and then I walked to class and it's already 2:10. I'm 10 minutes late. Or actually maybe even more. So it's 2:10 p.m. 2 something, 2, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, I don't know. I arrived to class and I sat down at a seat that I don't usually sit on, but the seat I usually sit on are taken. So I sit down and then the professor continues talking, and then 3 minutes later the professor's like, yep, that's it, you can all go home. And I'm just like, what? And there's a black girl in front of me with short hair. He turns around, he looks at me and goes, like, what the fuck happened? So I think she's like laughing at the idea that I just came in and now I'm leaving. The thing is, like, it's not my... Okay, I'm late, I'm sorry. But I didn't know the class is going to end this early. It just ended at around 5:21 p.m. It just ended. And I was like, oh my god. So I submitted my paper to the professor, and I was like, did I miss anything? And the professor was like, yeah, of course you missed something. And then he laughed. Sorry, that was flipping of me. We just talked about a sample, and that's it. And I'm like, okay. And then I decided to stay behind a little bit. Cardin was here, and I spoke to Cardin. I was like, hey, thank you so much for referring me to Emily Lee so that we filmed together, so that we filmed a film. And we talked a little bit. I was like, oh, I'm going to credit you in the short film. And he's like, yeah, you don't have to do that. I did nothing. But yeah, that's pretty cool. And then I just left. I don't know, for some reason after class dismissed, a bunch of people like grouped up. Like, instead of leaving, a bunch of people just grouped up and started like chatting. It's so random. I don't really know what's going on. So anyways, I'm like, great. That's great. I can go home early and I can have lunch early and I can film the Lisa album review early. So I was leaving, and I received, a little bit earlier, I received an email saying that there's free ice cream at 1:30 p.m. So I'm like, I should go take a peek. So I went over to SCA, and there is indeed a line, and there's indeed people eating ice cream. So I decided to take a look. But the thing is, if the entire vicinity of me doesn't have a single person I know, it's just going to be very awkward. I mean, it's not awkward, but it is a little awkward. And then I saw Andrew Wu. Right? I saw Andrew Wu, who like took a look with a skateboard with a cap on, and he lined up. And then I walked up to him and I was like, Andrew? And then he took off his earbud and he's like, oh no, I get that a lot, but no. And at that moment I'm like, oh, he's not Andrew. He's Brandon, the twin. So that's crazy because they look the same. I guess Andrew is a little skinnier. That's the only difference. But that's Brandon. They have the same hair length, the same hat, the same fucking skateboard. And they dress the same way. And then we just started talking. And it's so weird because I know Andrew Wu and have never met nor spoken to Brandon Wu before. But when I see him, this face, this voice, this look, I felt already a little closer to him. So, but it's really weird, and I don't know if I should be distant or be a bit closer. I've never seen the guy, never spoke to him, but he's also really chill and really nice. He's like, so how's your 290, and like, how's your, so what do you like doing? And it's just like, it's so weird. It's such a trippy feeling. But we had a really nice talk. Not really nice. We had a talk. It was general talk. Like, oh, so you're in 310. You're in APCA. So we talked a little bit about 310 and APCAs. He just finished shooting his project too. In 310, where he directed. Short film called Whitewashing. And it's classroom in a boring apartment about a third generation Chinese American being whitewashed. Classic 310. But he's nice and he talked and yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, that's that. I lined up for the ice cream, and thank God I lined up because after my turn, a lot of other people behind me started to not have the chocolate dip. But yeah, I ate the ice cream. It's good because another thing is I don't actually have a lot of food in my fridge right now, and the ice cream is good calories. Not good calories, but it is calories. So yeah, I had the ice cream. We stood there and we talked a little bit, and then he's like, "Oh, I got to go," and I'm like, "Yeah, okay, nice to meet you." So I was leaving, and as I was leaving, I saw this girl, very like makeup, like nice pink shirt, like dress, like wolf cut hair, and I'm like, "Is that Jian?" And then I walk closer. I'm like, "Oh, that's her." And I wanted to say hi, but she's hanging out with like 4 or 5 other people, like whom I've never seen before, and they sat down and Johnny is like talking and leading the conversation. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what is she, the CEO of a new company? I think this is because her script just got chosen for 480, and now she's like having a meeting with like the crew or something. She's only freshman. She's so powerful. She's unbelievably powerful for a freshman girl, by the way. Unbelievable. She's a menace. She's Ariel. Ariel if she's a Chinese girl. But yeah, I was going to say hi, but then I'm like, if I walk all the way over there, say hi, and then walk away with an ice cream in my hand, it's awkward as fuck. So I decided to just leave. So it was crazy. Every time I see Jian, I feel like I don't recognize her. Like, 2 days ago yesterday when I saw Jian, she looks like she just went for a hike. She doesn't look good at all. She had a ponytail. She just went for a hike. But now she's like, business, which makes sense. But like, usually people don't vary like that, you know? Aside from me, I vary like that. Or no, not really. My hair is looking really nice right now. I don't know what's happening to me, but like the last 2 days ago, and especially today, I feel good. Like nothing insanely great happened to my life in the last 3 days. It's just I've suddenly arrived. Suddenly, I'm at a good phase. Like I feel content. Like I'm not that stressed or worried or anything. Like I'm just okay. I think after the haircut, I felt really okay. Yeah. I think it helps that I ran into Jiayun and had a nice conversation, and then the con meeting went well. All that stuff. Yeah. And also the fact that Smooth Op is over. Anyways, I returned home, and I just chilled. And I filmed the Lisa album review. I had lunch, which is just eggs and bacon and some salad. And then I left for 290. I was late by like 5 minutes, but it's okay. And then for today's 290, we rehearsed the film set. So the professor asked 5 of us to come outside and like one person hold the camera, one person hold the mic, so one person's sound, one person's DP, one person's PD, one person's first AD/producer, one person's the director, and then switch roles and then just do the whole action and cut thing. So like all quotas had pictures up, camera rolling, sound speeding, the whole thing, and we just rehearsed it a few times. I eventually did it. I don't do camera, so I was like camera roll, and I don't know what else I could say. But like it was very awkward. Cheyenne is surprisingly quiet. Cheyenne's like, pictures up. And it's so crazy. Cheyenne's a beast. Cheyenne's a fucking monster. I know monsters don't have to yell and scream and be loud, but Cheyenne's so like timid. It's like What the hell? You know, she's fucking insane. She's psycho. What are you doing? She's wearing a very nice sweater. I don't know. We did all that, and then we had like group meetings, production meetings, and our sound girl isn't here. This Chinese girl, she's not here. So it's just me, Cole, Andrew Wu, Ryan, and Jade, and we talk, and we're so quiet. There's not a lot of chemistry, but that's because everyone there is just kind of chilled. Meanwhile, other groups are really just chatting about life. But yeah, I didn't really. Honestly, I'm not that worried about this hotel shoot because, it's so simple. It's like all we need is 4 actors and some props, and then we're good. Like, I'm the director and I'm not that stressed out about this. Smooth Op is way more complicated as a production. No shade to 310, but like after listening to some of the 310 ideas, I thought that Smooth Operator is probably even more ambitious than a 310. It's just that the production value is not as high because all I have is my own camera and some labs. But like, yeah, you know? Yeah. So, and Brandon Wu told me that Andrew Wu played my short film on the TV. And I'm like, what short film? And I was like, is it the Buddha one? And he's like, yeah, I think so. And I'm like, wow. It's so crazy. I'm in cams, but people are playing my films on the TV for other people to see. I'm actually, and like, I just shot my 10th short film. Some people in 310s right now have never really directed a short film before. Brandon told me that he never really directed outside of like some fun shorts with friends in high school. But I've done it 10 times already. 10 fucking times, man. And I've tried genres from horror to art house experimental to literally action fight. That's last night with stunts. I've done eating scenes, I've done running scenes, I've done scenes with sports. I've done an intimate scene, sorta, in Dreams of an Empty Street. I've filmed in temples, playgrounds, underwater. Like, I've done so much shit. It's so silly. What the hell? How did I even shoot underwater in a swimming pool with a GoPro? I think I was the one who was I the one holding the camera? I forgot. But yeah, I somehow did all this. It's so impressive. I was just thinking, like, after I had lunch today, I was just envisioning my own film, Smooth Operator, with the footage I got. I'm editing in my own head, and I'm like, it kind of works. But like, just the fact that I've tried something this big, a fight scene in the gym, is just immaculate. Like, this is basically 310 level. Like, ambition. Maybe not production value, but ambition. This 310 level. The fact that I'm shooting it for 2 days already makes it like a 310 level production. So, yeah. But hey, who knows? Jiayun, I'm climbing the ladder, Jiayun's climbing even harder. And, yeah, I would love to be on her sets. That's crazy. She's just a 19, maybe 20-year-old girl. Yeah, I'm excited for this Saturday. I'll be seeing her, hopefully. Unless she's like, ooh, cancel. Shoot, cancel. But, yeah. So anyways, I wanted to speak to Rachel, but she immediately left. Everyone left early. At around 7:50, everyone just left. And I and Andrew Wu, we stayed behind. And we stayed outside of the room, and we put out our laptops, and we finished the shot list for the hotel shoot. 13 shots, which is a little too much for 4 hours. But I'm super fast. I think we can do it. Yeah. But yeah, 13 shots in 4 hours. Oof, oof, oof. But yeah, we came up with the shot list. It is mostly me. The thing is, I want this to be more collaborative. I want Andrew Wu to be more active. But Andrew Wu would just be quiet, and I'm like, how about do a medium shot on this? And he's like, yeah, sure. Yeah. But it's good. The professor and the TA walked out of the room, and saw me and Andrew were sitting down and working, and the professor's like, "Woo, you guys are working," you know, because when Cheyenne's group started walking out of the room, the professor's like, "Okay, I'm trying my best to not be harsh on you guys, but like just remember, you know, if you discipline yourself a little bit, you get a little bit of what you want. If you discipline yourself a lot, you get a lot of what you want. So please take this seriously." No one's taking it seriously, I feel like. I'm not taking the hotel room script that seriously. I'm taking Project 2 very seriously. I'm taking Smooth Op really seriously. Way more than Cheyenne. I read Cheyenne's script. I don't know if I've said this already, but Cheyenne's script is like super minimalist for Project 2. Even more so than her Project 1. It's just 2 shots. Or like 3 shots, but like 3 very long shots. And it's 2 girls talking like, "Oh, I thought you're I didn't know you were bisexual." And then they talk about dating and guys, and then it slowly fades, extremely slow fade apparently, into the next shot, which is a flashback of the 2 girls on bed smiling at each other, probably after they had sex or something. And that's it, which is very Cheyenne. It's, you know, it's about love, it's touching, but it's also ambiguous, and it's about sex and lust. She's like Aphrodite or something. She's like Aphroditus. She's like the goddess of love or something, but like in a dark, twisted way. Yeah. And then I'm like the opposite. I just made a short film where a guy fights another guy for bagging a girl, and he jerks off and screams and smears blood on his face and choke on boiled eggs. It's so maximalist. It's so crazy. I can't wait for Remain in Light and Smooth Operator to come out, because it's going to cause a bit of a stir. I hope it's going to cause a stir. I don't want to be too confident just yet. I don't want to be too proud of myself just yet. But like all my previous films, even including Objects in the Mirror, they're all kind of ambiguous and slow and experimental. And Objects in the Mirror is not supposed to be slow and experimental, but I think my style just made it slow still. But Remain in Light and Smooth Op is me switching gear to just fast-paced insanity, and I think it captures people much faster. And because I'm using USC as a location and using a lot of USC people to film, I think it's going to cause a bit of a stir. Like, there's going to be a bit of a discussion on, ooh, this Enoch guy is making crazy-ass films. More ambitious than 310s. I hope 310 people will look at my films and go, I wish we did something like yours. 290s have so much restriction, have zero freedom. Yet, I feel like I broke all the rules just so that I could go even crazier. Yeah, okay, I'm talking too much. I'm starving. I'm gonna leave now. I'm gonna have dinner. I just received Decision to Leave and Sparrow Blu-ray, not stolen. And I'm feeling good. I'm feeling okay. I want to talk more to Jayan. Why would she ask me to have coffee with her in Seattle? Okay, you know what? You know what? If I was Jayan and I randomly met this guy, let's say girl, and she's in an area near me, and she's like, oh, let's meet up. Or I'm like, let's meet up. But then I have some even closer friends, really close friends who's also in this area, and I could only choose one. I would choose my close friends. So I'm not mad at Jayan turning me down. She has her priorities. I'm not in her priority. She doesn't think of me that much. That's apparent, and that's okay. Because I would do the same if I was her. I'd like to talk to her more, though. And I think this set is a great place to start. There's also Maisie's set. I don't even know if John will be involved in that. I hope she is. I don't know. Jayan's kind of unpredictable. But it's great. I met a 310 guy. I made a film prod, Brandon Wu guy. He even asked me, like, so are you, like, free in the next few weeks? Like, because I do production design stuff, and not a lot of people do PD. He's like, oh, are you free in the next few weeks? And I'm like, oh, maybe. But the thing is, I don't want to do more film sets this semester. I'm so fucking done. I'm only going to Jiayun set next Saturday to goof around. I'm only there to goof. And then Maisie set is also gonna be fun. Just goofing around, just a virtual production, horsing around. Hotel script is like, who cares? So yeah, these 3 sets are like, it's like whatever. I also did an MFA set only for a day, but I did do it. Haven't worked on a 310 though. I would love to work on one. And yeah, if I get to PD Jiayun's script next semester, or if Katie does a 310 and Jiayun's there and I'm there and Christian R's there, or if Colin's doing one, or if Anya's doing one, or oh my god, and Ethan Kwan's doing one. Next semester is gonna be the year. This year is gonna be the year, isn't it? Is this it? Is this it? Like, I feel like right now I'm already at the peak. Like, I know when 2025 started, I was like, this is gonna be my peak. I'm in my prime right now. And I concur. I think, yeah, I'm not like exploding with success, but like, I'm going to Cannes. I'm doing the HKOS Film Festival thing. I'm meeting so many people to the point where people would just DM me on Instagram saying, "Oh, I have a set. Can you please help?" And like, not only have I surpassed Instagram followers, like Natalie, Cedric's, probably like, I don't know, even Tom, Hans. I don't know. I feel like I've surpassed them all. It's crazy. I was at the bottom of the barrel 5 years ago. Or like I was 6 years ago. Yeah. And I feel like after Leslie, I am even more well equipped for a relationship. But I hate saying that because maybe I'm not. Maybe I'll still freak out. But I feel like I've become a much stronger man. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't have a lot else to say. Yeah. For fuck's sakes, not again. Fuck. This sucks. Time now is 9:31 a.m. in the morning on April 1st. Yay, we made it to April. Yeah, I slept from 4:35 to 9:30. And yeah, I'm so tired. Again, I'm actually fucking dying. Literally, I don't know how many days in a row where I'm getting less than 6 hours of sleep. It's so cold. Oh my god. Yeah, last night I couldn't do anything. I think I was just too tired. But I keep zoning out. And then when it's time to watch The Long Day Journeys into Night, which I planned to watch yesterday, 10 minutes in, I already fell asleep. So I cannot watch that film at night because I would just fall asleep. So yeah. And I'm waking up extra early today because I'm meeting TA3 or TA4 from 11 a.m. to 12:30, and then from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. I'm meeting TA3, and then that's it. I might go to Ralph's later. I don't know. I'm just so fucking tired. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. Tomorrow I'll also have to wake up early. Thursday. Or Wednesday. Thursday I get to sleep. And I also really need to start editing Smooth Operator. So I'll try to do that. Yeah. Okay, time now is 1:23 a.m. in the morning. Yeah, I'm so tired. I might actually die. So, yeah, woke up. I'm so tired I don't even want to film this video, low key. I just spent like 20 minutes doom scrolling. I was gonna stand up and start filming, but I just doom scrolled. So yeah, I woke up and luckily enough, it took me about 40 minutes or maybe even less to finish editing the April Fool's video. I was able to upload it right on time, and then I left. And I was a bit late because I decided to take the 10:50 bus. Even though I'm supposed to meet TA4 at 11 a.m. And then TA4 told me, oh, my meeting's late. It's running late, so let's meet at 11:30. So problem solved. So I arrived at SC third floor. I sat down, listened to music, and just chilled. And it felt very nice. I love these little chill moments. I really do. So I just sat down and I chilled. I I looked at my laptop and yeah, that's pretty much it. So at 11:30, I went to KAP. But instead of going inside, I just went outside. There's this little sitting area, which is in the back of Ginsburg Hall, and then for about 50 minutes, me and TA4 sat down and talked. And I hate that what's supposed to be a 2-hour meeting is condensed down to 15 minutes again. But I feel like today's meeting is very substantive. Like, we talked a lot. He told me he had some health complications. Okay, well, you guys don't know who he is, so I can say it. He's diagnosed with kidney stones, and it's not the first time, and he talked about how painful it is, and how it's been a terrible week for him. And then I was like, yeah, I wish you get better. And then essentially we just went over several things. Evaluation for presentation 1. Fuck, I have to submit that shit. And then look at our instructor's comments on his office hours, and then we talked about his next presentation. So yeah, very condensed, and I was able to give very constructive feedback within a short amount of time. And then at 12:30, also I'm like coughing now. It's crazy. A few weeks ago I had sore throat, and then it's running nose, and then now it's coughing. So that's great. Fantastic. So yeah. And then I went to religion class. I was like 10 minutes late. And it was an interesting class, but the thing is, like, I feel like even though this religion class started off really interactive and fun, as the semester moves on, it starts to feel like the professor is just saying things and lecturing really fast without letting us discuss or talk. And there are so many PowerPoint slides that don't even contain what the professor is saying, so the professor's just rambling on and on. And it's beginning to be a little bit boring. It's very interesting content, but it's beginning to be a little bit boring. So after class, I actually went up to her, and first I talked about maybe I'll do a creative project for the final exam of my religion class, but also secondly, I started just asking questions about, about Shaolin Temple, so they spread? And she's like, yeah, it spreads, they go to Japan, and I mentioned how I went to one in Japan. So yeah, And then after class, I was walking away from a Manson Center, and I saw maybe 7 students just right outside in a little square outside of the center. And it's Bridget, it's Singaporean Bridget, and there's an older woman there, and the older woman is Miss Archaeology, Mrs. Archaeology. She is probably the only archaeology professor in all of USC because she teaches archaeology class in religion, and then she also teaches archaeology class as part of classics like ancient Rome, ancient Egypt, ancient Greece, etc. There's also archaeology major, except there's nothing in archaeology major. Nothing. There are no classes offered. So I assume if you do archaeology major, you would be taking, religion and classics and history and geology, maybe. I don't know. But anyways, I was just gonna walk away, but then I'm like, you know what? A missed conversation is a missed conversation. And I need to start training myself to not miss conversations. So I just walked into the group. It was a little bit awkward, but I'm like, what's the worst that could happen? And I was like, Bridget? And she turns around and she's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, what is going on? So I thought this is a class. I thought they're like in archaeology class or something, but no. Apparently, this is an activity as part of the Trojan Archaeology Club. And they're making candles. That's kind of funny. And I had a really nice conversation with her. I talked about, she's like, oh, so you just walked past? And I'm like, no, I just finished my religion class. And I mentioned her paper, and she's like, yeah, it's getting boring. It's starting to suck. And then she asked me if I'm going to a screening of No Other Land, which was 7 p.m. tonight with Viet Thanh Nguyen, a speaker. Viet Thanh Nguyen is one of the professors in USC, also the writer of The Sympathizer, which is a Pulitzer Prize-winning novel. That's really cool and all, but unfortunately I'm not going because I already saw the film. But a bunch of people like Matt and Ivana Wang went as well. So there's that. But yeah, that's pretty nice. And then I left. And then I had a bit of a dilemma. So the thing is, I have no food in my fridge for lunch. I don't know what to eat at all. I could immediately head to Trader Joe's and buy a bunch of food and go back home and eat. But I also kind of don't want to do that. And I thought to myself, why don't I just go to Starbucks and buy a sandwich and a coffee and just bring home and eat? So that's what I did. Yeah. I don't know why, but I'm starting to feel guilty eating at Starbucks. I think Starbucks is like evil in a lot of places. In Hong Kong, Starbucks work with Maxim, and Maxim works for the CCP, so Starbucks money goes to the Chinese government. And here, Starbucks money goes to the genocide. So I feel bad. I feel like Starbucks is always on the wrong side of history. But yeah, either way, I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'll just get some Starbucks. And it was nice. And it's only $11, so it's not that bad. And then a little bit later, I went back home, and even though I had less than 2 hours at home, it felt like a long time. And I was able to chill and wait. And then at around 5:20, I left. Went to SA 3rd floor, chilled. And then at, not 5:30, 3:30, holy shit. At around 3:30, I left. And at 4 p.m., I met up with TA3. So here's the funny part. So today, my meeting with TA3 is supposed to be 2 hours. And we ended up meeting for 1.5 hours only. But essentially, I wanted to book a room at the library yesterday. But I can't because I already booked a room this morning. Like 4 this morning at 11 a.m. Except TA4 didn't even want to meet up at the library. And because I already booked a room today, I can't book another room on the same day because I've reached my limits for some reason. So we had no choice but to just randomly walk into a classroom in SCA and hope that no one has taken it. So that's what we did. We went into SCA room 258, the place I shot Remain in Light. And it was empty. And we sat there and we continued to watch the holdovers. And 40 minutes in, a couple people came in and they're like, oh, sorry, we booked this room to audition something. And we're like, oh, okay, it's okay. So we left and I'm like, you know what? Let's go to another room. So we went to third floor to room 362, the room I shot Smooth Operator. We went in and we continued the film for about 20 minutes. And then someone walks in on us. Saying that they have a meeting. So we're like, okay. So we left, and then we were out of options. So, but I also don't want to end early because I hate doing that. I know, regardless, I'm getting paid because I can just lie on my report, but I don't want to do that. I want to actually have integrity and actually complete the 2-hour meeting and actually be helpful. So I and the other TA, we just sat down on a couch and continued to speak. So instead of watching the holdovers, we just talked about several things. Terms for to review for a presentation he's doing in weeks. And then I looked at other terms, so terminology, words, vocab. And we're talking about Bruce Willis, because he's a gerontology researcher who studies aging in the brain. And we were sitting in front of the poster of Looper, which stars Bruce Willis, and I talked about aphasia. So yeah, so that was pretty substantive too. And then I took a bus back home, and I had a dinner, and the dinner is humongous. It's rice, 2 slices of tofu. I finished all my pork belly, finished all my kimchi, finished all my tofu. And did cabbage and mushroom and garlic, and holy shit, that was huge. And at some point I just didn't want to continue eating. But yeah, that's it. I finished Long Day's Journey into Night, which is great. And I have... I don't have a lot of time left. But good news is, my mom texted me saying that the bank, after half a year of applying, the bank had finally approved of the mortgage, which means that now my parents can lend a little bit more than 2 million Hong Kong dollars. But of course, from the 4th year and onwards, maybe until the 10th year after the loan, we have to return money to the bank with interest. So here's to hope that I become a millionaire. Also, my short film just got rejected by Los Angeles Asian Film Festival, which is a pretty big festival, so I'm not surprised at all. But yeah, it sucks. I think there are only 2 more film festivals left for Objects in the Mirror, and I think I'm going to get rejected by both of them. That's highly likely going to be the case. Yeah. I hope a miracle happens. I really do. Yeah, but I feel like my short films are just very inaccessible, especially. I think Dreams of an Empty Street is still like conventional because it was kind of direct, but like Cloud Busting onwards, so Cloud Busting, My Beloved Valentine, which I don't even consider my own short film at this point. Cloud Busting, Love and Death, Objects in the Mirror, World Is Not Enough. These 4 films are very inaccessible and like confusing and psychological. But I think the 2 films I just made at USC are easily the most, like, they're straightforward, but also they're flashy and fun. And even though I don't have a whole ass crew with me to check on the focus and the lighting and the sound for every shot, which would have been great, I think the core idea is some of the craziest I've done, and I'm proud of it. I really am. Okay, anyways, that's number 1. And number 2 is, Con, not a lot of updates, but there have been continuous updates almost every single day. before. So Tiger decided to create another WhatsApp group. So now we have 3 WhatsApp groups dedicated to Cannes Film Festival. The first group is started by Asir, and it is the main group where Sandrine is in it. Then we have Khan, colon, parenthesis. So Khan with a smile. I think Colin started it, or no, Tiger Lily started it, but either way, it's like the spam group, where we just spam ideas for accommodation. But now the accommodation is confirmed, and that group is low-key dead. And then Tiger Lily established a third WhatsApp group called Branding colon Con, and it has 9 members, as opposed to 12, which is the second group, as opposed to 13, which is the first group. So why? I don't know. So apparently it has 9 members because 9 people on the team are also somewhat interested in branding. So I assume there are like 2 other groups, like one is called website and the other is called logistics or something. And like, at this point I'm like, why don't you just open a Discord server? You can have multiple rooms, multiple channels. But yeah, this is really, or actually even in WhatsApp, you can make multiple rooms. But yeah, this is getting really crazy. And then throughout the last couple of days, Sandrine has contacted 2 people. One is this person called Lisa, who has something to do with reality TV shows, and Sandrine was like, who here can be the point person? And Colin immediately said, I would like to do it. So now Colin is leading the whole reality TV thing, which means we're filming some kind of reality TV thing on social media for fun, for the Cannes team. I don't know. Earlier today, Sandrine was like, oh, I met up with this guy, his name is Ben, and he has a podcast. And I don't even know how that ties into the whole thing. And then Garrett, who is Colin's friend, immediately said, let me do it. I would like to be forward too, but like my workload is off my balls right now. So I don't know, but I'd like to do something. So things are happening, yeah. And then not much else beyond that. I think I really need to sleep. Like, if I don't, I will die. And the good thing is tomorrow there's no discussion for CTCS 192. I'll wake up 11-ish. I'll have plenty of time to chill. 11:30. Thursday, I get to sleep in. Yippee-ki-yay. Friday, I'm doing a meeting with TA4, and then I'll quickly zoom over to Santa Monica to meet Luis to color the film, which means I have to start editing Smooth Up right now. Saturday, I'm going to South Jiayun again. Intriguing person. Intriguing indeed. Like, I got to know her for a lot within a very short period of time, and then I get to not know her all over again. And then now I'm relearning about her from a new context. She's 2 different people. Like, during our conversations in Christmas, she's one person, and then during our conversations now, if they ever even happen, she's a different person. Sunday, not going to church, but apparently there's 3:10 P2 screenings, which I want to go, but at the same time there's HKOS Zoom meeting, which I want to go, and maybe there's like a con thing. Oh yeah, there's probably a con meeting thing on Thursday as well. Let me remember that. Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Not much else. Okay, time now is 11:33 a.m. on April 2nd. Yeah, I slept from... I should have slept really late, like 5:10 again. All the way till 11:30, and again, less than 7 hours. Not great, not the best, but this is already better than the last few days, so why am I complaining? Um, yeah, yeah, I I also woke up before the alarm again. It's like my body has already been acclimated to little to no sleep. So, yeah, I literally woke up before the alarm and I'm like, wait, did my phone decide to not ring? But no, it's just that the alarm hasn't rung. But yeah, today is much chiller. Um, I don't have CTCS 192 discussion, so all I have is RIT 340 and 290 tonight. So I don't want to be late for RIT 340 again. I'm late like every single time, so I need to be there early today, which I think I can achieve. Um, and then I'm going to Ralph's tonight, and that's pretty much it. I also started editing Smooth Op. That's the reason why I slept so late. I was sort of like caught up with editing my short film, and man, the first scene, um, the masturbation scene, it's fucking crazy. It's really really crazy, and wow, I'm like, I'm not sure if I should even include it in the film now, especially with the porn sounds. It's so wow, and then the handshake. It's like the nastiest thing I've ever written in film so far. But I'm really proud of it. Um, I hope Cam's Fest accepts me. I really do, because I'm sure people like Matt, Cheyenne, I don't know, maybe Maisie, maybe North is gonna submit something, but it's gonna be the big ones. It's gonna be the big people of this major, you know. Hopefully Colin gets in. Um, yeah. So yeah, hopefully I get into Cam's Fest as well, and I can brag to Giant about this and tell Giant to come that night. I want Giant to see my short on a big screen. Um, yeah. The thing is, Giant's really successful right now. Like, a lot of people want to work with her. Her script just got chosen, but like, she hasn't seen a lot of films. Like, you gotta stack your film knowledge. Yeah. And then that's it. I think that's pretty much it. Um, Nothing else to talk about. There's a lot of commotion in the Can WhatsApp group again. Um, Regarding stickers and a link to a previous meeting. Yeah, whatever. Okay, time now is 8:37 p.m. Yeah, I literally just came back home. I'm in my street clothes. I'm wearing this red sweater for the first time, and it's really cozy and perfectly fits me. So I really appreciated that. I think my grandma or my aunt left it for me, so yeah, this is great. Thank you. Um, let's talk about today. Today is somewhat interesting because I think I'm going insane again. I don't know why. I'm having these really crazy mood swings, and I don't really know why. The thing is, like, 2024 has been very mentally stable for me, but I think 2025, I think I'm kind of going back to that sort of swinging back and forth kind of state. Um, Last week I was quite elated. I think um, the last 2 weeks have been quite fun, right? Um, from the moment uh, I got accepted to con program until maybe about Monday, 2 days ago, I was quite happy. I was like, I think it's like about 2 to 3 weeks. I think I'm like consistently happy for some reason. And then today, I think I've reached a breaking point or something, and then I'm just crashing down. So this morning I woke up, felt a little good, and I actually filmed a YouTube video, and then I recorded myself, and then I left for RIT 340, and I actually took the bus, arrived at SCA third floor, and then I just went to third floor, went to the couch, and just drew. And it was nice. I listened to music, I drew, and it's really good. I forgot to mention that I ran into Ruth, the director of The Woman is Perfected, and Rachel yesterday. But I think Ruth does not recognize me at all because I had a haircut, and she only saw me for like half a day. Anyways, she's like, "Oh yeah, the film's going great, yeah," and then she just left. She clearly forgot about me. It's fine. So I yeah. So today I listened to, what the fuck was I listening to? I don't know. I was listening to pretty like jumpy, loud music, like really like, I wouldn't say loud, but I would say like motivating maybe. Enraging. It's not particularly angry, but there's something really upbeat about it. I walk into SCA and I see so many people, and some people I've seen before, just eating food, hanging out. I don't know what's going on. I think there's like a free pizza event. I went into the building, I opened the door, and I feel really into it. I don't know why. I was really like, the music has become the soundtrack of my life at the moment. I opened the door, I stormed in, and I look angry. I look pissed. I don't know why. I went up to third floor and I drew on my notepad, last page, and it was nice. And then I saw that it's 3 minutes until RIT 340 class starts, so I'm like, fuck. So I left. I left very fast. I walked past Harley, the Chinese girl who looks like Hyein, but I don't think she saw me, but I recognized her. I saw a bunch of other random people too. Anyways, I left, and then I went through, I walked towards GSF. And as I'm walking, I'm listening to something. I'm listening to Perfume's Chocolate Disco, maybe? But I don't know. I was just listening to music, and I got so into it. And my backpack was kind of light because I didn't bring my laptop with me. And suddenly, I just felt like running. I just want to fucking run. So in the back lot, the back street of SCA, where you have the elephant doors, I just started running. And it felt really good. I felt really alive, and I just started running. So there's this big road that stretches towards the south, leading to GSF. I just ran, and I'm like, I went off the pavement and went on and off, and then I started running backwards, and then I span around. I put out my arms like this, but it's not happy. I'm not smiling, but I'm not angry. Some mysterious force has taken over me, and I just started running. And then I ran really, really hard, and then I checked my pocket, my sweater pocket, and I'm like, fuck, where are my glasses? So I was wearing sunglasses, but my regular circular glasses, they're supposed to be in the pocket. And I'm like, fuck, where is it? It's gone. So I immediately stopped running. I turned around and tried to look.
thank God some guy behind me was like, hey, you dropped this. And I grabbed it, and I was like, I was like out of breath, and then I just walk. And I was a little bummed out because of glasses. I've been trying, it's brand new, and I've been trying really hard to keep it in pristine condition, but I just dropped it, and now the frame's a little scratched, and the glass has these marks, and I don't know how am I going to clean that up. I think I can, I don't know. But, yep, I dropped it. So, I also, when I walked out of the SCA building, I slammed, like, I used my hands to push through the door really violently, and look at my fucking thumb. And it was bleeding. Like, right now it's clean because I washed my hands, but, like, it was bleeding in the inside. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with me. I was like, some kind of mysterious energy came over me, and I started running, and I felt full of life. I'm not happy, I wasn't angry. Maybe I was a little happy and I was a little angry, but it kind of canceled out each other. But either way, some energy came through me, and I just started running, and I've become self-destructive. Like, I'm hurting, and every time, and I say every time, but like this rarely happens. I feel like every time something like this happens, and I slow down, I look back. My first thought is, I think I was angry, because that felt like a temper tantrum. But then, truth be told, that wasn't a temper tantrum. Nothing triggered that. It just happened. So I went into RIF 340, I was out of breath, and for the entire class I was just zoning out. A lot of other people around me are looking at their laptops, or laughing, or like actually paying attention to class. I'm just zoning out. Like, something's wrong with me. I feel like I took some drug or something. And the professor called on me and asked me what my idea is for the next paper, and I said my idea out loud. Because I've thought about this idea for a few days already. So I said it out loud, and the professor was like, wow, that's unexpected. Yeah, truth be told, my mind works weird. I don't know why, especially after going to film school, I feel like my mind has become more and more, like, random, quirky. Like, you give me something, and then I can give you 10 different things, but they're in crazy weird directions. And I feel like my mind is always like that, but I think right now I know how to harness that. It's creativity, but it's like chaotic creativity. I think I'm just like that, because I was comparing filmmaking and living with a quantum particle, because an electron is a particle and a wave at the same time, and no one in that room is STEM, so no one really knows what I'm talking about. And it's crazy that I even know something about science. Anyways, I went through the whole class, and then I left. So at least I wasn't late. I think one of the reasons why I was running is because I didn't want to be late, and I feel like being late is such a embarrassing thing. Like, I never really care, but for some reason nowadays I care, because suddenly I'm really competitive. I want to look really good, and I want to be really responsible just for the sport of it, not even because it's moral. Responsibility is a kind of a virtue, but at this point, it's just a fashion statement. Like, it's just salad dressing. It's just candy coating, you know? So, I don't know what's wrong with me. So anyways, I went back home. I walked back home, and I had some time to just walk around and decompress. And then I had lunch, which is some Indomie, which is really nice, actually. And then I left to 290, and the bus that was supposed to show up did not show up. And also, I missed the 5:20 bus, because I don't care anymore. I'm so tired. I'm missing the bus. I don't care. So, theoretically, I should walk to school, but then I'm like, no, let me wait for the 5:50 bus. So 5:50 comes, bus fucking vanishes. Bus doesn't appear. And I thought maybe the bus came early. So I walked. And so, unfortunately, I got late. I was like 15 minutes late to 290. And when I went in, they were screening Ryan's film. So Ryan, the Asian American guy. Ryan's film. And it was like near the end. And the ironic thing is, on my way walking to school, I actually took a peek at his film already. But yeah, I opened the door, and I was thinking, oh my god, they're screening the film. Should I wait or should I just get in now? And within the split of a second, I was like, you know what, I'll just walk in. So I cranked open the door, sneaked in, put down my bag. The film's over, lights on. The professor immediately looked at me and was like, Enoch, that is very bad form. You do not want to walk into a room when a film is playing. That's very disrespectful. And at that moment, I was like surprised because I've never been scolded like this for a while. And I was like, oh, sorry, I was going to wait. But I'm not mad at him. I think it's reasonable. I think it's a reasonable thing because films are to be respected. So I'm like, I'm sorry. And then they screen another film and I said nothing. And then again, throughout the entire class, I'm just kind of zoned out. I just don't know what to do. And then, so only 2 people submitted their films. Originally today is supposed to be Group A filming, screening their films. Group A is Ryan, me, Cole. Who else? It's supposed to be 6 people, a Porsche, but a bunch of people just haven't finished their films. So for some reason, only the person in Group A who's done it is Ryan, and then for some reason Group B, Christina already finished hers. So we saw the 2 films and and they're comedy, they're lighthearted. Or like Ryan's film's like really personal, but like really wholesome. It's about a brother and a sister bonding. And I'm just like, wow, I'm just thinking about my own film and how cynical and twisted and nasty it is. And how I'm about to unleash it onto this class. Which, by the way, this class is more comedy oriented and more lighthearted. So when my film is like an atomic bomb, which is a good thing, but like, I'm scared of doing it too much, but I've already literally shot it. And it's so crazy. The professor's like, okay, you guys can go now. I guess we can end the class early. Except for Enoch. Enoch, let's talk about the physical thing in your film. Okay, so great, more stuff. So the professor asked me, Christina, and Audrey, my trio mates, to come up to him and talk because all 3 of our names appeared in the safety form that I requested. The thing is, neither of them are innocent. Both of them are innocent because when you submit a safety form or a safety form request, all your trio mates are involved. And but they have nothing to do with my film, and they have no idea that I'm doing a fight scene either. And so the professor was like, okay, Enoch, you stay, you 2 can go. So I stayed, and the professor's just like, so what happens in the scene? And I was like, oh, there's some coordinator. And I lied, and I said that I haven't even shot the film. I'll shoot this weekend. And he's like, yeah, you need to go to the production office, and they have a list of stunt coordinators, and your stunt coordinator has to be on that list. Otherwise, the fight will not be approved. And I'm just thinking there are like, the fight is sure that is a huge safety concern, might be the biggest one, but my film is so unhinged, and it's so crazy that the film that I choose to go extremely hard is this one. It's a school project. But yeah, I'm proud of my film, but I also think that after the shoot, I realize that this film is now less about masculinity or not just about toxic masculinity, but now it's also about USC and the culture of USC. And it's just, I have 5 semesters in this school. I'm on my 3rd semester, so I'm kind of halfway there, and I'm already releasing something so dangerous that may get me expelled. So I don't know. There's something so thrilling and awesome about it, and there's something so, like, I don't even know if I should do this about it. Anyways, I left. I was the last one to leave. It was very awkward. And I was just drained. This morning I had a lot of energy. Now I'm just really tired. So I walked out and I was like, what if Jaeyoon's in the lobby? She is. So I went up to her, and every time I see her, she looks like a different person. It's kind of scaring me a little bit. She's on the couch typing on her laptop again for the umpteenth time. Every time I see her, she's doing that. And I sat down and I was like, hey, how's it going? And she immediately told me that, oh, my script got chosen for 80. And I was like, yeah, I know. People were telling me. And she's like, well, who told you? And I was like, oh, a bird told me. I heard it through the vine. And then he's like, what? And I'm like, oh, I saw the email. But like today, she's made up, like she wore makeup and she's dressed really well. She's dressed really fancy. But she looks kind of different. Her eyes, okay, this is going to sound really weird. Her eyes are very close together today. Last time I saw her in person, like close up, her eyes were not that close together. I don't know if it's the makeup or if she just looks like that, but I don't know what's going on, and her forehead seems smaller today. I was thinking of her, like, I was remembering her face in the last few days, and I'm like, yeah, I know what she looks like. I know what she looks like. I see her today, and I'm like, no, I don't know what she looks like. I've seen her, like, 7 times already, and each time her face is a little bit different. And I just don't know what to make of it. So, yeah, we only had a little time because she wanted to go see the Sloan films, which is, films made under the Sloan Grant, which is a grant that allows students to make films related to science. And it has to be a good film. It has to be a moral film. So I love science films. I love Cronenberg. But Cronenberg is not getting that grant. Steven Spielberg will, Cronenberg will not. But yeah, I just followed her and I told her, oh, I saw you 2 days in a row. And she said she didn't even see me, even though she looked me in the eye on Sunday. So I followed her because it was like 6:50, and I'm like, yeah, well, who cares? I'll just follow her around. She went to the other side, and I like that because my energy's drained. I look really tired, and I think when I'm tired, I'm less awkward. So I was so unawkward today. It's actually funny. So I followed her to the other side, like the Raystart Theater side of the SCA, and there's not a lot of people, but there's this short Asian boy. Who is that? That is Jiayang Liu. He's a YouTuber. He's very prolific. He makes a film every month or something like that. And I've been seeing him. I've been seeing him from a distance. Like the Asian Pacific Islander Film Festival, I saw him, didn't approach him because he disappeared. But he's a bit of a mystic figure. But the truth of the matter is, he's younger than me. He's a boy. And his films are bad. And his posters are even worse. But yeah, I saw him and I was like, hi, are you Jiayang? And he said, yeah, and you? And I'm like, I'm Enoch. So I told him I saw his film at the Asian Pacific Film Festival. I told him I saw his DP work in a 310, and I told him at the very end, I also saw you on YouTube. And he told me that he made a video about getting into USC because he saw another YouTuber making a video about getting into USC, which is really funny. But yeah, we talked a little bit. And Jaeyoon is just observing us talk. It's very interesting when you know a person is one thing, but when you perform and act in front of another person, it's something. Like, I and Jaeyoon, we can talk and we can make phone calls, and I can talk about how I make friends and how I cook my food and how I whatever. But then to actually do the thing in front of her is a different thing, So it's really interesting. I was also wearing my glasses. I look like freaking Asian Harry Potter. Which is a good thing. I actually kind of like my hair right now. It's actually kind of... I look like a book boy. I look like a boy who reads books. Jiayun didn't even say goodbye. So this random black woman showed up, and he's like related to Sundance or Bank of America or something, because her shirt says so. So, and she's just like, so how are you guys feeling? And they're like, good, good. And she looked at me and she's like, how about you? And I'm like, I just finished class. So, as it turns out, or that's my guess, some kind of talk or event just happened about Sundance and like Sundance programs and like submitting films to Sundance. And the woman is like one of the managers there, I guess, and she thought I'm in there too, but I was totally oblivious. I don't know what she's talking about. So she's talking to this other white guy, this skinny twink white guy, white boy. He's turning 20, so he's 19 right now. You're literally an infant. You're 19. You're an infant, okay? And then Jiayang Liu, who's beside me, he's like, oh, well, I'm 21, old. I'm turning 23 this year, bro. But yeah, it's really funny, and I just stood there just nodding, but I was like ironic about it, and also I was positioned behind the black woman, so sometimes I look like I'm ironically there and nod, just to mock the situation. Anyways, Jiayun and this random white guy just walked away and went to the theater, and then I spoke with Jiayang a little bit more. I told him I saw him on YouTube, and I was like, well, nice to meet you. And he's like, yeah, didn't get his Instagram. I don't really care. One day we'll see each other again, and I'll grab his Instagram. This is a first timer. We actually have a conversation for the first time. First time Instagram is a little iffy. But I'll do it the second time. But it's good because we talked about APC a little bit. I talked about 290. And yeah, I went home tired, and then I went to Ralph's, bought tons of shit, came back. Yeah, I'm very tired. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know why am I feeling this way. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I think it's just a bunch of small things, like my objects in mirror getting rejected constantly. Oh, so Los Angeles, like the VC Film Fest, so it's Los Angeles Asian Film Festival, but it's called VC for some reason. I don't know what it stands for. So VC Film Fest is, the results are out and I got rejected. But John L's latest documentary got accepted. And I don't know why. I mean, Objects in the Mirror is not good. But I don't know. And then it's also about just people being successful and happy. That's crazy. I've made, how many short films have I made about the idea that others are always successful and happy and I'm not? I think Remain in Light and Remain in Light and Smooth Operator are exactly about that. So in some ways, I'm really happy I made Smooth Operator and Remain in Light. I think these two films really speak to my experience in USC and mine only, because no one is going to relate. Hopefully no one, because if another person's going to relate, then lock them up, because they are a potential school shooter. But yeah, maybe I'm saying the quiet part out loud. Maybe Smooth Operator is what a lot of people are secretly feeling and are too scared to express that feeling. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to think about this too much either. I get to sleep tomorrow, sleep in, which is just amazing. I think I need that. I think the reason why I'm a little on edge today is because I don't have enough sleep, and today I had about like 6.5 hours maybe, and it's not enough. Like I need 9. I need 10. And I don't know when is the last time I slept in. I genuinely don't know. It's been weeks probably. But then yeah. And then there's a con meeting, which is gonna be fun. Apparently we're gonna start doing this reality TV thing tomorrow. Like they're gonna record me being a goofball or something. Yeah. But yeah. But Smooth Operator is done. I feel like a lot of my short films are very much about me. And every time I make a short film, I'm like, oh, I'm glad I made a short film about this, because so now I can like put this feeling down. But no, you make a short film about a feeling, the feeling's still there, and then you want to make another short film about the same feeling, and again and again and again. Like Dreams of an Empty Street is me saying, okay, so I hate people who have girlfriends. And I think I will never love, and I'm lonely, and I hate myself. After that, that feeling is very much still alive and well. So Love and Death Happens, which is also kind of about that, but in a different way. Done, I still have this feeling. The Smooth Operator comes along, and I didn't even intend Smooth Operator to be about that, but somehow it is kind of about that. It has that incel quality to it. Yeah, but the truth of the matter is, Smooth Operator is so fucking ambitious. And to think that, you know what, to end off this video, I would like to declare myself as a villain, you know, because I'm an edgelord. I am talented in some ways. Or, I wouldn't say talented, I would say skilled. I'm skilled in some ways. I'm skilled at writing creative stories and directing, you know. But the truth is, I am not a good person. I don't make films about happy things, wholesome things. Actually, I lie. I am a bold-faced liar. The world is not enough is very wholesome. But either way, that is wholesome, but it's not directly wholesome. There's still something melancholic about it. The thing is, I love making very edgy, cynical, twisted films. And so when I'm this skilled and I have such ill intentions, I think they should lock me up or something. They should put me on a watch list. I hope they do. I hope I gain a reputation after I release those 2 shorts. After I release the 3 shorts, The World Is Not Enough, Remain in Light, and Smooth Operator, I hope I gain an interesting reputation. The madman of cams. The best filmmaker in SCA, not even in film production, which is false. I'm definitely not even top 10 best filmmakers, but like, I would love to be in the top 10. I would love to go above and beyond, pursue greatness, but in the name of evil, you know? I want to be a menace. Yeah, that's it. That's it.